session with a quote by Kofi Annan, the former UN Secretary General. Young people should be at the forefront of global change and innovation. Empowered, they can be key agents for development and peace. It's a wonderful quote, isn't it? So today the world around us is changing rapidly. New jobs are coming up. Old jobs are disappearing. And so many opportunities are existing that many of us are not really aware of. Some careers are in technology, some are in design, some are in health, some in social work. There are also very promising opportunities for those who are passionate in culture, art, music, heritage. But to reach them, we first need to know that they exist, right? I want you all to imagine for a moment, what if something we really love doing from a very young age, maybe a hobby, could actually become your career, right? Is it possible? It is. The trick is to start with the basic skills, to build your foundation, to be very strong in communications, problem solving, critical thinking ability. You all are aware of NEP, National Education Policy, which talks about all these components, right? And the use of technology, which is indispensable in today's age. And then keep on learning, and improving over time. And that is the essence of lifelong learning, right? Let me introduce our organization. We are a bunch of creatives. We are a bunch of social science enthusiasts, engineers, building a wonderful, exciting, vibrating organization together for the last 25 years. Our name is Banglanatak.com, and we work very closely with youth, with communities, with young people, with communities across rural areas, semi-urban areas, and across India. We help them turn their talent into livelihood, into entrepreneurship abilities. We have seen youth from villages, towns, cities become entrepreneurs, excellent performers, heritage guides, designers, and more. And our mantra has always been mixing tradition with modern ideas to earn a living. Today on International Youth Day, we are very fortunate to have some experts with us from different fields. They will share their ideas, open your eyes to new career possibilities, and help you see how you can follow your passion and earn from it. This kind of discussion doesn't happen often, so listen carefully, listen closely. You might just hear about a future you never imagined for yourself. And we would really appreciate if all of you interact. Please use the chat box, and you can also switch on your microphone and ask questions in between. We really don't want it to be a very monotonous and teacher-student only a kind of a one-way communication, right? Thank you so much. So here I will stop and I will introduce our speakers one by one and throw questions to them. And let us not have only a question answer, but more of a reflection from their experiences and have a more of an open conversation. So I'll introduce each of the speakers once I go through each of the questions. So first I would warmly welcome Professor Polly Vokuline. Professor Polly, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Thank you, ma'am, for agreeing to be part of this amazing talk we are expecting today. So we know Professor Polly for a long time, and we have associated with her in several of our initiatives. So let me quickly introduce her to others. So she's a senior faculty. She's a professor at the Department of Women's Studies, Guwahati University. Professor Wakuline works on gender, care work, feminist geography in Northeast India. She's known for her research on gender-based violence, rural livelihoods, and women's rights in conflict affected regions. So, thank you so much for joining again. And so, we'll ask the first question to you, ma'am, around youth skill development, keeping in mind today is the International Youth Day. So, as a professor, you have been working in this sector of academia for a long time. So, how have skill requirement for young people entering academia, especially teachers in higher education, how have they changed in recent years? What are your opinions? What are your experiences around it?
Okay, thank you so much, Contact Base Banglanatak, for having me here today. I assured Arena that I'll go slowly because I'm not so well adverse in Hindi. If I speak Hindi, I'll be in big trouble. So I'll speak in English, but I'll go slowly. So when we talk about academia, what is the most amazing thing about academia, because it's a very well-paid job. And for this well-paid, and in this well-paid job, you don't require coaching, you don't require like what happens in medical science or engineering. So this is something very interesting thing about academia. And another interesting thing about academia is that you can enter different level. Like that entry point is not always an assistant professor and associate professor. You can enter as an assistant professor, you can enter as an associate professor, and you can also enter as a professor. But for each of this entry, the qualifications are different. But so if a young, because they are all youth, I presume that if they want to enter, they have to enter from the very lower, I won't say lower, as an assistant professor. So in an entry level, to enter into academia, there are few tests which one needs to give, and that is NET, SET, and SLET. That is National Eligibility Test, State Eligibility Test, and State Level Eligibility Test. And that test is totally based on the syllabus, master's level syllabus. So if somebody is very thorough with the master's level syllabus, then it's not so difficult to qualify NET, SLET. In certain university, PhD is also a qualifying criteria. Now, along with that, what I feel is that if any of you who are here, or if a youth who is consistently good in their studies, the academic records are good, then it becomes very easier for them to enter into higher education. And along with that, the new things that have come into the entry level into the academia are publications. So a youth who is inclined towards publication, and in publications will come through research work. So if anybody who is who likes to study and who is into research, so academia is the best place for them. And after, for example, if they have entered into academia, there are three basic basic skills that you require. One is teaching, the other is research, and other is also administrative. So usually we feel that people have an idea that when you are into teaching, you just have to teach, or when you're in the academia, you just have to teach. But along with teaching, research is very important, and administrative quality. And in the initial level, teaching becomes the prime factor. So higher you go up in the strata, research and administrative aspects becomes a part of your job. So, so in teaching, so to be a good teacher, one need to have very good communication skill. And what I felt like I have taught for more than 25 years, I felt that to have good communication skill, you need to have very strong knowledge. So you have to be very, you have to extensively read. So youth who like to read and who likes readings, actually they are the one who should be there in the academia. So when you are extensively read, then it becomes easier for you to communicate among the students. So reading skills, then again, uh, because here communication is a bit different. It's live communication. You talk in front of the students, and if you're not well read, the students will not take you seriously. They'll take you for granted, and you can speak in the classroom to get connected with the whole topic which you're saying. You should also be connected with the ground works which are going on. So if you're just bookish, it doesn't work. You have to have an understanding of what is happening on the ground. For example, I teach women studies, so I should have connection with the ground reality. So I have connection, for example, with Banglanatak.com, because these NGOs work with the grassroots workers. So then I know what are the things which are happening in Bengal, and I have connections. I got connected with different type of NGOs. So through these NGOs, we know what are the activities which are going on presently in the ground level. So, and when you have these type of connection, it enhances the knowledge of the teacher, and this is one very important skill which one requires. And again, which I feel is that the society is changing very fast. Like when we were students, it was very different. So it's not, it's very difficult when we compare us as a student and teaching now. So we have to stick with the time. So being a teacher, you also have to be very empathetic. You have to be compassionate. So that empathy is very important. Otherwise, the students will not be able to connect with you, because many times we find a student who is very quiet, and it's not because they don't know what you're teaching or they are not attentive in the class. Many times I found that there is something which is happening in the personal life. So these empathies, being empathetic is also important, but you don't know how to be empathic. To know that, you have to know the issues. Again, you have to do reading, you have to do research. So it comes on and off. And
Professor, sorry, I am interrupting you. Can we move on to the next speaker?
Sure.
Because we have 3.5 minutes for each question. I'm very sorry, but you can continue in the second round. Thank you so much. I think the pointers were very important. I am hoping that the students who have joined as participants are noting these pointers. Thank you so much. So we'll move on to the next speaker, Ms. Avni Varia. Ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I'm so happy to connect with you, and a very warm welcome to you. Let me just give a quick introduction of you to others. So, Madam Avni Varia, she is a heritage professional and curator based in Ahmedabad. She leads the Museum of Ahmedabad initiative. She integrates craft revival, design, and community museum practices to support artisans and promote inclusive, sustainable cultural enterprises. So she wears multiple hats. There are several other things that she has been doing for years. However, we don't have much time to go into detail. So over to you, madam. The first hint or first kind of a question, you can delve deeper into it, is what barriers, real and perceived, stop young people from seeing heritage and crafts as innovative, impactful, and sustainable career paths?
Thank you, Arina. And I'm proud to be part of this International Youth Day talk. I would prefer people interacting more. So in between, anybody has anything to kind of comment on or ask, please feel free. I'm more of an interactive person than just keep talking about things. So the question what you asked in terms of the career in heritage, I think when we talk about heritage, a lot of people look into the dictionary term, and people feel heritage is something which is old. That is one of the myths or mindset. Whereas I think in today's time, when we are in the boom of digital developments, as well as how people are trying to connect heritage with the latest technology, I think we are in a very good place where people, I'm not sure how the students look into it, but I have seen a lot of people opting for heritage in an broader umbrella, opting for career in that sense. So a lot of people feel when we say heritage, it's something old, but it's actually very connected to the contemporary world. A lot of people, I feel, and it's irrelevant to the modern career when we talk about the developed technology or industrial development or digital development, what is happening, and it's happening very fast these days. So I think there's a myth which is going around, which I have observed, that this is not a very modern career. The other thing, what I see personally as an heritage professional for past 25 years, is that there are a lot of fragments. Like people say, I am a craft designer, or I am somebody into tour guiding in sense. They feel that they are all isolated, but actually, when you talk about heritage, it's very holistic. So for youth to take it up, I think this is one of the real barrier where you see that somebody says, if I'm into education, how do I connect with heritage? Or somebody who said, I'm a tour guide, how do I connect with other aspects? Because heritage is something very holistic, what I would see and what I've experienced. When you say I'm wearing multiple hats, I can see the common thread, what is among all my initiatives or all my projects or all my professional work, what I'm doing for others, is all connected with one thread. And that's how I feel that it's an holistic, and it's not a fragmented thing which you can say that, okay, I'm working with heritage, so I'm just doing this. You need to connect with various aspects of heritage. And the other practical barrier, what you see these days with a lot of development, and also with the new education policy, also adding heritage and Indian old Indian crafts or Indian Ayurvedic systems and all the other things being part of the new education policy. I see there is a lack of funding, particularly when we talk about the career. If you talk about being a teacher or being a professor, it's a different ball game. But when you talk about being an entrepreneur, then people look for funding. And what I have observed is a lot of funding has been going towards latest technology use and entrepreneurship, or maybe what you call about this new startups. You see a lot of funding is being infused towards other aspects and not heritage as a tag. That's what I think would be an answer to what your question is. If is there anything specific anybody would like to ask, I'm open to take the question now if I have time.
Thank you so much. I think you're on time. However, as you asked, I would reiterate to all the students, please use the chat box or open your mic and you can ask, because
मैं
though we
हिंदी
have
भी बोल सकती हूँ,
हाँ,
तो किसी को हिंदी में कुछ पूछना है, मैम आपको क्वेश्चन भी अगर हिंदी में रिपीट करना है तो इफ वी हैव 1 minute आई कैन go through it again in Hindi if required.
नहीं अभी I don't think, because I have been following up with my colleagues that none of them are unable to understand
Okay,
English.
that's great.
So they can understand English, because if we continue with the two languages from the beginning, then it will take more time. So whenever there is any problem, so we can switch to Hindi. However, I'm again asking if there is any problem, we can translate in Hindi. We can use both the languages.
इस
And it is a
क्वेश्चन में किसी को
request.
भी पूछना है
हाँ,
कुछ तो आप प्लीज पूछ सकते हैं।
हाँ. और प्लीज आप एक काम कीजिए, सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स को रिक्वेस्ट कर रही हूँ, अगर आप चैट बॉक्स यूज करके अपना इंट्रोडक्शन दे सकते हैं। So there is a chat box. So all the participants, please use the chat box and you can just introduce yourself. I can see these bunch of students, but we can see them not face to face, right? So,
Yeah.
so
Meanwhile,
we
can I
request.
just add one
Yeah.
more thing?
Sure, sure.
The opportunity part, what I see today is the cross-sector career, where you see heritage being combined with design or fashion or architecture or gaming. These days, people are into gaming and films and tourism. Definitely, when you say heritage, it's all about tourism. That's what a lot of people think. But heritage is combined and is interconnected with fashion, gaming, films, documentaries, even technology is being quite used these days for promoting heritage or for presenting heritage, as well as wellness, and now heritage being part of the new education policy. So there is a cross-sector career for people who are really wanting to do something with heritage. The second thing is, when we talk about climate resilience and sustainability, the Indian heritage, whichever aspects of the Indian heritage what we are looking at, it very much connects with the current issue of sustainability. So I think that's a bigger opportunity what I would see. And the way the government and the funding of the CSR, which has been infused these days, it all goes to enterprise. And I think the social enterprises, I think that's a big opportunity also. But we need to see how heritage is being combined with the income generation. So that's what
Thank
I
you.
would like to conclude my
Thank you.
answer with.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can I ask a question? Yes, Sony, whoever you are, your name is not visible.
Yes.
So please introduce. Yeah, can you use the chat box so that we can continue with the discussion? Yeah. Yeah, and madam can take it forward. She can answer your question just after the first round. Please feel free to ask your question in the chat box. Thank you. So we'll go ahead with our next speaker, Miss Miss Nehal Raj. And to give you good news, we are on Facebook Live, right, Aviksha? Finally.
That's good.
Yeah. So welcome, welcome, Miss Nehal Raj. We are very happy to connect with you, madam. So, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you for having me.
Great. So let me just give a very brief introduction of Miss Nehal Raj. She's a multidisciplinary artist based in Baroda. She works with ceramics, paper, and mixed media. Her practice blends storytelling with sculptural expression, exploring memory, material culture, and everyday textures of life. I would take just 30 seconds because now that we are Facebook Live, I'm sure other people are joining and they won't understand English. So my Hindi is little broken, but I think everyone can understand. So Miss Nehal Raj एक मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी आर्टिस्ट है, बड़ौदा से है, सेरेमिक्स, पेपर और मिक्स्ड मीडिया के साथ काम करती है। अपने आर्ट में कहानी सुनाना और स्कल्पचर का ब्लेंड करना उनका शौक है और वो करती है। ये एक बहुत छोटा इंट्रोडक्शन है, बट शी इज डूइंग वंडरफुल इन हर sector, and we are very happy to have these experts from different sectors because very rarely we actually meet people from different sectors, and students especially are stuck around the traditional job, traditional kind of work, traditional sectors. So it is wonderful to have people like you, experts like you. So welcome to you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So the
Thank
first
you.
hint or the first idea or the first question, whatever you can say, is when you look at fine art and design in the creative sector, what do you feel sets them apart, the fine art and design? And where do you see them overlapping? क्रिएटिव सेक्टर में फाइन आर्ट और डिजाइन में क्या डिफरेंस है, क्या अंतर आप देखती है, और कौन से एरियाज में इन दोनों का मिलना हो जाता है? तो इफ यू कैन प्लीज शेयर. We have
Yes,
little bit of time, but if you can, 3.5
I'll
minutes.
try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to give as
But
much
I think
information.
if we go longer than 5 p.m., I don't have any problem. If that's absolutely okay.
All right. Can I? So now, do you want me to speak in English? या आप चाहते हैं कि हिंदी में बात करूं या दोनों में बात करना है?
If it is not much of a problem, if you can mix both the languages, or
हाँ,
you can use one
ठीक.
language only, we can try to translate in the
Fine.
chat box. Whatever
Fine.
is easier for you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, I've been listening to Avni ji and Professor Polly, and it's very interesting for me to hear about other sectors, because for me art has been my passion and profession for nearly 30 years. So there has been a long journey and a lot of things that I can probably share with potential future artists and designers. But I think दो बहुत important जो aspects हैं to do with fine art and design when you look at the difference between them. Uh, Let me first differentiate that fine arts is something that uh, is like painting, sculpture, mural. It is more self-expression, based. But when one talks about design, design has an application that is beyond your own expression. So when I'm creating a painting or a piece of sculpture, then I'm doing it solely out of my own self-expression, and I'm doing it for myself primarily. Design में ये हो जाता है कि when you're designing something, you have a brief or you have certain aspects or further applications that you have to keep in mind. So if I'm designing, say, a logo for a company, then I have to keep in mind that there is a client there, versus fine arts where I am the person who I'm supposed to be pleased with. I could be designing furniture, I could be designing, homes. So whenever there is design, design always has somebody else's brief and requirement uh, at your as your focus, versus fine arts where your personal expression is the focus. तो ये दो difference primary है fine arts और design में अगर मैं समझूं तो. पर प्रोफेशनली व्हाट हैपेंस इज कि डिजाइन आपको ग्रेजुएशन के बाद या आपका एक फॉर्मल ट्रेनिंग के बाद डिजाइन आपको अलाउ करता है कि आप एक जॉब ले सकते हैं, आप फ्रीलांस कर सकते हैं. देयर इज ऑलवेज वर्क दैट मे बी kind of ready for you as soon as you finish training. Some or the other work would surface. What happens with fine arts is that it's a little more unpredictable and certain amount of uncertainty there. So where the joy of creating for oneself comes with a certain amount of uncertainty. कि आपने अगर एक graduation कर लिया fine arts में, it doesn't mean you're going to be ready with a whole lot of work or people, sort of ready to absorb what you're going to create. So I believe that while both fine art and design are creative processes, one is more introspective and one relates to something that is outside of yourself. मैं ये नहीं कहूंगी कि कौन सा सही है, कौन सा सही नहीं है, अच्छा है, बुरा है. I think that one has to look at one's own aptitude. For example, as an artist, I enjoy being an artist more than I would enjoy being a designer, because मुझे अपने लिए काम करना पसंद है. I would love to create for my own self in my own studio and then go out and exhibit my work. Whereas somebody who has the aptitude of wanting to create with various other elements, they may want to work for various customers or clients. तो उनके लिए डिजाइन में बहुत पॉसिबिलिटी है, लेकिन जो कॉमन है दोनों चीज में, वो ये है कि you will if you enjoy art or if you enjoy the process of creation, you will love your work every single day. आप जो कर रहे हैं, you'll never feel like you're going to work. चाहे आप डिजाइन कर रहे हो, चाहे आप फाइन आर्ट्स कर रहे हो. So my I would urge a lot of the young, people, that if you are even slightly inclined towards creative profession, then I believe that there is a lot of scope now, because art, design, architecture, interior, they're all creative processes which have tremendous scope today in the urban market. And in the past 10 years or 15 years, survival for an artist or a designer has increased many-fold. It's a lot more feasible today as a profession than it was maybe 10, 15 years ago, or even 20 years ago. So despite certain amount of organic process of, growth in terms of your career, I think they're brilliant professions because they allow you to be authentic to what you enjoy doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think that was really wonderful. And hearing from someone.
Very well put, Nehal. Thank you.
Thank you, Avni.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think there's one question for Avni from the previous session, but if Nehal also wants to answer, she can also go ahead. You can answer this question after we go ahead with two other speakers for this session. So
Sure.
next we are very happy to have with us Miss Poppy Day. Hi Poppy, are you there?
Hello. Yes, I am.
Hello. Yeah. So we are very happy to have Poppy here with us. पॉपी दे एक वेलफेयर ऑफिसर है डामडिम टी एस्टेट वेस्ट बंगाल में. So as you can understand, so we have these speakers from different sectors, so you will get a lot of different ideas from different sectors, right? So पॉपी एकदम अलग एक दुनिया से है, टी एस्टेट from West Bengal. So she works very closely with tea garden communities. टी गार्डन communities के साथ बहुत closely काम करती है in around improvement of lives of women and children. She works very closely in different projects, leading education, welfare initiatives, building stronger, more inclusive community support systems. So मैंने जितना सुना है मेरे colleagues से, so Poppy is very close to the youth. She inspires youth champions, leaders, or I'm sure some of her students are there in our session. So welcome to our session, Poppy.
Thank you, Contact Base, Banglanatak, and especially WSF. Actually, WSF के साथ ही हम लोगों ने बहुत क्लोजली काम किया, जिसके चलते आज मैं इस सेशन का पार्ट बन पा रही हूँ. तो थैंक यू सो मच.
थैंक यू. आपका फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन या फर्स्ट हिंट है, being a young person, you yourself are in the mid of your career, you are a young person. So what do you think makes it difficult for young women in tea gardens to step away from the work their families have been doing for generations? Generation से वो टी गार्डन्स में काम कर रही है, वहां से निकल के बाहर जाना और अपॉर्चुनिटीज एक्सप्लोर करना, ये कितना डिफिकल्ट है और ये कितना हो पाता है, इसके बारे में अगर आप अपना एक्सपीरियंस अगर आप शेयर कर सकते हो. थैंक यू. ओवर टू यू. I am very sorry, I am cutting everyone short, but we really want everyone to speak, but we have very little time. So for you also 3.5 minutes. We'll again come back to all the speakers. Right. Thank you.
टी गार्डन के बारे में मुझे जितना इतना सालों तक काम करके एक्सपीरियंस हुआ है, एक्चुअली मैं APPL ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से काम कर रही हूँ, जो कि एक टाटा टी का ब्रांच है. तो मेरे साथ ही यहाँ पे 25 एस्टेट्स में और भी वेलफेयर ऑफिसर्स है जो ऐसे ही लीडर के जैसा काम कर रहे हैं. तो उन लोगों का एक्सपीरियंस भी मुझे मतलब अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रहा है कि शेयर करूँ. तो यहाँ पे जो है टी गार्डन में बेसिकली डूअर्स में स्पेशली दो तरीके का कम्युनिटी देखा जाता है, एक है आदिवासी, एक है नेपाली। तो जिस टी गार्डन में नेपाली ज्यादा परसेंटेज ज्यादा होता है, वहां पे जैसे होता है कि वो लोग फिनेंशियली काफी मतलब वेल सेटल्ड होता है, तो वो लोग टी गार्डन का जॉब जो है उस पे बहुत ज्यादा जो डिपेंडेंट रहते हैं वो नहीं। और जो आदिवासी कम्युनिटी है वो लोग थोड़ा ज्यादा टी गार्डन के जॉब्स के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट रहता है, जिसका असर होता है जो यंग जनरेशन है इन लोगों को बहुत सारा वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग के साथ साथ प्लेसमेंट का भी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलता है। तो वो लोग बहुत ज्यादा देर तक आदिवासी कम्युनिटी का यूथ जो है वो लोग बाहर रह नहीं पाते, मतलब वो लोग यूज टू हो जाते हैं वो लाइफस्टाइल के साथ। और नेपाली कम्युनिटी कंपैरेटिवली बहुत ज्यादा वो लोग सस्टेन कर जाते हैं। तो ये तो एक प्रॉब्लम है। दूसरा है बिहेवियरल चेंजेस, जो लाइन का जो उन लोगों ने मतलब बचपन से जो देखा है, जो देख के वो लाइन का सिनारियो देख के, तो वो बड़ा सिटीज में जाके उन लोगों के लिए सेटल होना थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है। और साथ साथ है एक एडिक्शन का प्रॉब्लम, ये है। और मेनली मैं जो बोलूंगी, ये जो टी गार्डन का जो आप यंग जनरेशन का यंग वुमेन का बोल रहे हैं, इसमें दो पर्सपेक्टिव से मैं डिवाइड करना चाहती हूँ। एक है वर्कर का, एक है कंपनी का। वर्कर का जो है लिमिटेड एक्सेस ऑफ एजुकेशन, स्पेशली क्वालिटी एजुकेशन, मतलब वो लोग क्लास 9 10 में पढ़ रहे बच्चे, लेकिन पेरेंट्स का प्रॉपर वो इवोल्यूशन के चलते वो मॉनिटरिंग नहीं कर पाते, जिसके चलते शायद वो क्लास 9 10 का बच्चा अपना स्कूल का नाम भी प्रॉपरली बोल नहीं पाते हैं। तो इसके चलते वो फर्दर जब जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज के लिए ट्राई करते हैं तो उन लोगों को वहां पे काफी सारा प्रॉब्लम झेलना पड़ता है। तो वो वहां पे फाइट पे जाना नहीं चाहते कि मेरे पास में एक टी गार्डन का जॉब है ही, मैं वहीं पे जाके सेटल हो जाता हूँ। ये उन लोगों का माइंडसेट बन गया है, जहां से निकलना उन लोगों को थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट हो रहा है। दूसरा है कि ट्रेडिशनल रोल्स जो है वो लोग, पहले मैंने मेंशन किया कि वो लोग ऑलरेडी उसमें यूज टू हो गया कि मेरे फादर का काम है कि मेरा मदर का काम है, वो मुझे बदली में मिल जाएगा, मेरे पास में क्वार्टर है, ग्रेचुइटी पीएफ है, बोनस पैसा है, सिक मिलेगा, मैं उसी से खुश हूँ। तो ये उन लोगों को यहाँ से निकलना, ये उन लोगों के लिए बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो रहा है। और एक पॉइंट है जो कि हेल्थ इश्यूज, स्पेशली वुमेन के लिए। हेल्थ इश्यूज में स्पेशली मेल न्यूट्रिशन जो है, क्योंकि लोकल लिकर जो है, जो इंटीरियर गार्डन्स होता है, वो इंटीरियर गार्डन्स में लोकल लिकर्स का प्रैक्टिस बहुत ज्यादा है वो कंज्यूम करने का, या सब्सटेंस अब्यूज का भी आजकल बहुत प्रैक्टिस स्टार्ट हो गया है, जिसके चलते मेल न्यूट्रिशन मतलब एवरेज हीमोग्लोबिन उन लोगों का 7 to 8 रहता है। और मल्टीपल बेबीज या फिर मल्टीपल मिसकैरेजेस, जिसके चलते मतलब वो लोग टी गार्डन का जॉब तो कर ही रहे हैं स्पेशली आदिवासी कम्युनिटी में, साथ ही साथ उनका घर का भी जो भी काम है वो डोमेस्टिक हेल्प भी उन लोगों को पूरा एकदम वो सपोर्ट देना पड़ता है। लेकिन जो नेपाली कम्युनिटी है वहां पे जैसे अगर वाइफ काम पे जा रहे हैं तो हस्बैंड जो है, हस्बैंड घर का काम कर लेते हैं। इसके लिए सोसाइटी से जो होता है कि अरे तुम्हारा वाइफ, तुम घर का काम कर रहे हो, तुम मर्द हो, फिर भी वो चीज नहीं आता है। तो ये बहुत अच्छा प्रैक्टिस है नेपाली कम्युनिटी में।
थैंक यू
और
पॉपी। सॉरी, मैं आपको रोक रही हूँ क्योंकि यू आर बियॉन्ड टाइम। तो आई थिंक जो पॉइंट आप करना चाह रहे हो बहुत बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, क्योंकि आप जिस कम्युनिटी से बिलोंग करते हो या जिस कम्युनिटी के साथ आप काम कर रहे हो वो बहुत डिफरेंट है। हम जब शहर में बैठ के जिस तरीके का बात हम करते हैं वहां से उनका रियलिटी बहुत डिफरेंट है। तो उन लोगों का जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज, उनका चैलेंजेस डिफिकल्ट होगा, डिफरेंट होगा। तो इसको लेके हम फिर से बात करेंगे। बट
एक
सॉरी,
एक
हाँ हाँ, प्लीज
एक
प्लीज
मेन
प्लीज।
पॉइंट जो कंपनी का प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है रिसेंटली, जो काम टी गार्डन का काम होता है वो इन लोगों का अभी ज्यादातर प्रैक्टिस बन रहा है कि वुमेन वर्कर्स वो काम को ले ले, और मेल जो पर्सन है, मेल पर्सन बाहर जाके माइग्रेंट वर्कर सबसे काम करे। लेकिन टी गार्डन में ऐसा बहुत सारा काम होता है जो कि हेल्थ हैजर्ड है, जो कि हम लोग वोमेन एम्प्लॉय को डिप्लॉय नहीं कर सकते। तो ये कंपनी के तरफ से पुअर प्रोडक्टिविटी का मतलब बहुत बड़ा रीजन है टी इंडस्ट्री के लिए। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू। तो इसका मतलब है यूथ अपॉर्चुनिटीज, यूथ के लिए अपॉर्चुनिटीज को लेके टी गार्डन कम्युनिटीज में बहुत सारा काम हम लोगों को करना चाहिए, एस्पिरेशंस बिल्ड करने का काम करना चाहिए। थैंक यू सो मच. So we have today with us a very interesting, a lovely person with a beautiful voice, Miss Deepanita Acharya. Deepanita Di, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
Thank you,
Hello.
Arina. Hi.
Hi. I
Hi
would
to all.
we all you are part of our organization because as you all know, Banglanatak.com is a uses culture for development, and we work very closely with traditional artists, folk artists. So one of them is Ms. Deepanita Acharya. We have been associated for many years, but we want to introduce her to others. So just give me a few seconds. Deepanita Acharya is a wonderful folk singer who embraced the art not by lineage but through dedicated practice. Having learned the folk style with passion, she brings authenticity and emotion to every performance, keeping traditional music alive for contemporary audiences. So, with Deepanita Di, we want to step into the music world, to the performing art world. And what is the career prospect? What are the different possible career pathways for today's young folk artists? सबके लिए दीपान्विता दी अभी थोड़ा सा अपने बारे में और करियर अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्या है ट्रेडिशनल आर्टिस्ट्स के लिए, फोक आर्टिस्ट्स के लिए या सिंगर्स के लिए आज की दुनिया में 2025 में क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज है, दीपान्विता दी हमें बताएंगे. Over to you.
Arina, thank you for adding me in this wonderful session. See, basically, I can say that when we talk about music, at first what comes is we all are performers. So we perform, we entertain, and that's how we sustain. And that's our art form also sustains. But there can be other possibilities as well. Like I am much more interested in doing research work and documenting those, whatever I am finding out. And I feel that there should be, a lot of musical libraries where we can go straight away. We can read books on music, and we can listen to the music which we have, which various artists have documented. Those who are involved in this kind of research work. But I don't think that we have this kind of museums or place where we can go and get to listen. We sometimes we get the documented books where the traditional folk songs are written. But what about the tune? And if someone says me that okay, you can tune it up, you can give a new tune, but that doesn't work very well, because if we get to know the previous tune, the traditional tune, it would be good for its sustainability, which I think so. A new tune is okay, but let us, find out the old tunes and let us document it, and let us find out a space where the musicians can go and, have the opportunity to read or listen. So this is a section where the musicians can work, and if not getting support from the government or something like that, we can do it on our own as well. And if we are talking about the possibilities of the youth, apart from entertaining, research work is a big possibility, I guess, and it is very much needed in my section, which I feel. Um, because in case of folk music, it is all about, it's based on oral tradition. So documentation is very much needed. I know Banglanatak is doing it nicely. We can go to the YouTube channel of banglanatak.com and we can get to listen to all the old songs, old traditional folk songs. We can get to know the traditional practices as well. So and you know what, Arena, during the lockdown, I have worked in social media platforms. Online concerts were there. So we took the opportunity of such social platforms where we performed and we earned during the lockdown. So yeah, and these are the things we can do. Social media platforms are also providing certain opportunities for the musicians to sustain themselves. Monitor, I guess. Yeah.
Thank you, Deepani, that you're right on time. We are already 4:55 p.m. Though we started little late, so I would first like to ask our speakers, do you have another 15-20 minutes to stretch?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have a meeting to go
you
and
have a
leave. So
meeting.
I have to leave at 5 like that. I'm here till
Okay,
another 10 minutes. Yeah.
okay, sure. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
So we'll
me too, Arina. I need to leave by 5.
Right, but we really wanted to listen to your music towards the end. So, as you were saying, if you can share a tune with us on youth, anything,
Uh,
if you're
uh,
in the mood, of course.
I would like to add one thing. I was emphasizing on the research work section on
Yeah.
behalf of the from this artist, I mean musicians part. So I would like to add one more thing. Like I learned a song which is like this. Uh, it's all about the tea garden laborers, how they entertain themselves in the evening after they finish their work, and it's all about their life process, how they're dwelling it. Hmm. একটি কলির দুইটি পাতা হিত রেপেটের ভাত এ পাহি পাহি পাতা তরি টকরি ভরাই পাহি পাহি পাতা তরি টকরি ভরাই এসো কি জিয়ে কি উপায়. See, I learned this song from my guru Abhijit Boshu. It is okay, but it's my request, if you don't go to it, if you don't visit this tea gardens, you won't really uh, feel this song, because একটি কলি দুইটি পাত তাই তো পেটের ভাত. That's what my life is all about, the tea leaves. So if you want to be a very good performer, you need to do the research work, you need to do the field work. Yeah.
I think that is wonderful. And the second question that I wanted to ask you, can you just answer in few seconds, and then I'll go directly to Polly because she also has have to leave. So Deepanita, the second question was digitalization ka impact kya hai on the opportunities? What is the how has digitalization impacted opportunities in performing arts sector?
As I said, during the lockdown, I performed a lot of this online concert, uh, and more opportunities are like I am using this YouTube part is a very nice section. We get to know a lot of things from YouTube. It is, but we cannot be like only YouTube based. We need to have our gurus as well, and we need to do the field work on our own. But definitely, these online sections are very important for us for the today for the performers, um, to connect, obviously to connect with the people, because I have done a lot of collaborations with artists from abroad, and still we are on talk how we can do the musical. So these are all through the online section, so it is very important for us.
And in this world of rap and fast-paced music with technicalities where you actually change your voice and your voice can become Sonu Nigam or Mohammed Rafi or
Yeah. Oh,
anything.
that's not, but that's not very acceptable. That won't work, because YouTube has declared that if you make a video through AI,
Yeah.
they're not going to accept that. So I'm very happy about that. So
So
we should use AI in a very, very um in a very right way. I guess.
So, what are your suggestions for the youngsters? Should they join singing as a profession? Should they continue their hobby? Because we have seen most Bengalis have been learning music from a very young age, and they leave music because of the traditional hardcore studies and all those things. So, should they
See,
continue in today's age?
yeah, definitely they should, because we have a very strong musical heritage. But my suggestion is like, don't think that if you're learning music means you will only be a performer and you will earn a lot of money. You need to provide or give something to the music industry for the future musicians. So you just think about your contribution in the music industry. It cannot be only to be a performer and earning money. It cannot be like that. It should be very strong. It should be very serious how you're contributing yourself. You should think about
And I think there are also various subsectors under this huge
it. Definitely,
spectrum
definitely,
of
definitely, because
music
music,
performing
I
arts.
I heard, I'm
It's
not
not
very sure.
only singing, right?
No, no,
Or
no. But I
using
heard,
instruments.
yeah, because music is using nowadays music is used as healing part, no? So in doctors are also using music. So think otherwise, not only that you are learning music, you will become a performer and you will go stage to stage and perform and you will earn money. The story doesn't stop there. You should contribute properly to the music.
Thank you so much, Deepanika Di. But I request you to be there for another 5-6 minutes, please, because I'll ask another question to Professor Polly, and then I'm sure our speakers, our fellow speakers, also have some questions for you and other participants. Just give us another 5-6.
Right,
It would be
right.
great if you can be here for another 10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Professor Polly, sorry I interrupted in between your speech. It was wonderful to hear from you. Another lingering question that we wanted to ask you is again around skills. So academia is a profession which will never die out, right? So we are talking about design, we're talking about heritage, we are also talking about cultural professionals, because we as Banglanatak.com, we promote that a lot, heritage conservation. But teaching is a profession and academia is a profession which will never die out, and it has been for years and years. So
Yeah.
can you reflect on the specific skills that students or the young professionals should focus on? So I've heard there are a lot of applications, LMS, what notebook, LMI, all those things. So whatever, what is your take on this?
What I feel, nowadays, like research plays a very important role. Whatever Dipannita was talking about, everything that can be incorporated in academia, because she was talking about research. So, what the younger generation can, how they can hone certain skills or research is that, like how you train your voice for singing, you can also train your mind for research work. So this is what I have been doing, and which I also ask my student to do it if they want to come for academia. You need to practice writing, like every day. This is for all those youths who are there. If you want to come into academia, you have to write. You have, and how will you write? You have to read. So those of you who are inclined towards reading and writing, you should be a part of academia, and it doesn't matter what subject you want to do. So whatever subject you're very passionate about, you do an in-depth study for yourself, then you can be in academia. The skills, how you can hone the skill is that every day every day make it a habit of reading something. And reading is easier, but writing is difficult. So every day you should practice to read something new, and it becomes a habit. So if you don't read, then you feel something missing, and that really helps you to into in academia, because you can read books, you can read your text. And when you study, you have to study for yourself actually, and that also helps you to hone up the skill. And when I was talking about research work, uh, how to do research, how to write research papers, there is a style. And to find out those things, you have to be techno savvy. Like everything is becoming digital now. You don't require references. Like somebody else will tell you about you. I mean, you don't require reference through mouth, but your publication, your works. And if you're writing something, publish your work. When you publish your work, people will know you when you're sitting for the interviews, or you stand out. So, and to hone the research skill, you have to write every day. Make it a practice to write something. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you so much. Since both of you have to leave, and I would request other speakers to be there for another 10-15 minutes to complete with your questions. But if anyone has any question for Dipanita Di and Professor Polly, you can please ask them.
I just want to end up by saying that when we hear the term teacher and professor, don't be scared. I was a mediocre student, but I was very passionate about geography. And since I was passionate about geography, I could foresight like what's going to come up in geography. So when I did my PhD in geography, I did in gender geography, where people didn't even hear about gender geography. Since I was passionate about geography, and geography was not a very sought after subject. But after doing my PhD, or my interest grew, means after my interest which grew in gender, it took me to a different level itself. So when I'm talking about academia, don't be scared that you need to read all the time. You have to study all the time. And you will, as a few of the speakers said, if you love something, you'll automatically read about it. You'll start critically looking into that. And those are the skills which are basic skills which are required to be in the academia. So don't be scared when you hear about assistant professor, professor. We are just like anybody else. Like we have students coming from tea gardens doing research, and now they are part of the teaching with us, like they're my colleagues. And it's really nice to see that some of my colleagues are the first in the entire tea tribe uh, who have completed their masters. Then she became the first person in her entire community to do her MPhil, again PhD, and also faculty. So we have students coming up from tea gardens, doing research work, being PhD, and now it is, and we can see there is a increase of students from lower economic group, because here you don't require coaching. You just have to love reading. You read, clearly read, study. When you study for yourself. And these are certain qualities which you have to inbuild in yourself. And that will take you to academia, because you don't require godfather or godmother to be in the academia.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So with your permission, can I leave?
Yes, sure. If there's any question, I'll get back to you later on. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Arina, I would also love to leave then, but
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Arina.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So we'll take another 15 minutes of your time. It was really wonderful to hear from all of you. Of me, ma'am, I would like to ask the second question, and also there was one question in the chat box if you want to take it up. But the question that we had in mind to ask you was, how can digital tools like virtual reality, augmented reality, and artificial intelligence be integrated without losing the human stories, skills, and authenticity that can make heritage museums and crafts meaningful to young audiences? So if you can reflect on that, and also, and if you want to make it absolutely short in your own way, you can go ahead.
Thank you. I think it's interesting to listen to the other speakers because for me, being in the heritage, I never see myself on an island. I always see like somebody from the tea garden or somebody from education or somebody from dance. I always feel that it's all interconnected. We humans are interconnected. When we talk about heritage, if we are living something, it's a living heritage. If we have lost it, means we are not living. That's my definition of how I look into heritage. Now, when you say ask about the AI and AR and the VR. So I think in a very one sentence practical example, I would say that it's when we say VR, which is virtual reality, then you are inside a different world. Means you are replacing the reality. And when you say AR, which is augmented reality, it means the real world gets an extra layer using technology. So you are adding to the reality. And when you talk about AI, I asked this question to AI today before the session, and it says the brain that can power both VR and AR, and it's basically thinking. But my experience with AI, using AI in past few months is that we are still in a very early stage when we talk about uh, heritage crafts and when we talk about our folk culture, we are really very early stage in terms of finding the authentic information through AI. The more it would be feed in, the more information, the correct information, I would say, it will come out. That's what I feel because I've been using AI, ChatGPT to get some information, and sometimes it's so jumbled up that if you are not well informed, you might give a very wrong information to whoever you are giving. So I would say because we are digitally empowered now and everybody has even a phone in their hand in the smallest of the part of India, you will see a smartphone and you will see app and you will see a lot of access of internet. I'm not saying India is 100% on internet, but smartphones are there. People are connected, and some way or the other, the digital platforms have connected us and forced us to be connected with each other during the COVID time. So that has played a very important role for reaching. So all the platforms are very good for a good reach and engagement with people. And I would say with these platforms, the preservation of knowledge, the knowledge, the heritage knowledge, the knowledge of crafts of folk dance, what ma'am was talking about, the libraries or places where we can have the folk music access. So I think these tools are very empowering if we feed in the correct information, authentic information for preservation of the knowledge for future. Here we have to be very sensitive what we are feeding in because it can actually become a Wikipedia in the other way. Because I have been asking certain questions to AI and I get some answers which are totally wrong. So that's also a very tricky thing when you're using VR, AR, and AI. So I would say that the question which is related in the comment, if you want to read out the question, is also related to what somebody has asked in terms of communication person. If you can quickly read the question.
Yes. Since heritage is now connected to marketing, branding, fashion, design, tourism, how much depth in the knowledge of the subject do you think is needed? Is the knowledge of the subject more important than the skills like communication when it comes to heritage marketing? Or is it possible for a single consultant to carry the knowledge as well as marketing skills to excel in this field? I think this is a very important question.
I think a very important question, and I would agree to both. You can actually be a marketing person with the marketing skills and collaborate with somebody who has similar or par information or knowledge about heritage and collaborate and work on it. And you can yourself be a person who would be in both. And I would say I'm a kind of an example where I come from a traditional potter's family. I do hand spinning, I do teach, I do research, I do branding because I'm trained as a graphic and fashion designer, I'm trained as a teacher. So I'm kind of a multiple of everything in one. So one can do a communication also with the information what I have. So it can be both. To the person who have asked the question, I would say both are possible. Depends on what passion you have. So for me, my passion was handmade. So I had got into any project which I got for handmade. So if you say you want to do research on handmade, I would be there. If you say you want to do tour guiding or want to organize a workshop or want to organize talks or want to organize heritage film festival, everything was kind of threaded with one thing, which is handmade. And in terms of communication with the free internet and social media platforms, I've done a lot of marketing of the projects as well as the crafts and the arts. So I would say that we are empowered with that, but we need to have some principles about it. Ethically, we need to credit the sources. Very, very important for all the youth to know, because there have been challenges on the ground where people have used videos, photos, or information which are not being taken consent of. Taking consent to put anything digitally is very, very important these days. And I think the international community who is working on ethical policies on AI have started coming up with this. Being respectful about the cultural sensitivity is very, very important when you're using any of these three, AR, VR, or AI. And also avoid oversimplification in any information because it can be misguiding. Also, technology is a good bridge, but it is not a destination. That's what we all have to understand, that technology is something, it's a tool, it's not our destination. When we are talking about heritage and when we are talking about cultural variety and diversity, not just in India, across the globe, we need to be sensitive about it. And these days, people feel as nothing can be done without digital platforms or without all these technologies, which are rapidly changing. Every 2-3 months, you see there's an upgradation in all these things. So I had, I think, experienced augmented reality when I was studying my master's in London in 2010, where it was very, very new. But now, if you go to an application or any program or anything, it's actually changed in every 2-3 months. So being updated about it. So I would say that the question was to the engage the younger audiences through all these things. Absolutely amazing place in the world we are in, where we can use these things to reach the knowledge, our heritage, our culture to different parts of the globe. I think when I started Heritage Film Festival in 2012, one of the idea was to showcase documentaries and educate people. And it was an amazing response from everybody. So for museums or for crafts or for any arts, utilizing these platforms or utilizing these digital revolutions to a right way, I think we will be able to preserve the knowledge. We will be able to engage the Gen Z, what you talk about, and they are all interested, because now if you go online and see, there are a lot of information shared, but sometimes what they share and what they talk about, the information about it, is incorrect. So we have to be very, very sensitive. So I would say the youth to go ahead and use all these things, but be very, very sensitive about what you are sharing. Do you have the correct knowledge? Do you acknowledge where the source of the information is? And always, there's no harm in saying sorry if you've done something, put some wrong information and correct it. That's also possible.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think it was very important question, a very important point that you made. And very quickly, and I think she's also satisfied with your answer. Thank you so much. And I would quickly go to Nehal and Poppy. So both of your questions are more around the same lingering question on digitization, on technology. So Nehal, continuing with what Avni was pointing out, how do you think AI is changing and how is it adding value to an artist's work? What are your reflections? If we can merge all these perspectives together around technology, what is that all of you are doing serious work for decades and suddenly this technology comes in, and how does it impact and in what ways can it add value to an artist's work is what we are thinking of. If you can reflect, Nehal. Nehal, you're on mute.
I think Avni shared very valuable information because, we have all been working for a long time and we realize that ultimately the change is, very huge. So as somebody who's probably, I call myself old school, and I feel that as somebody who's been working for a few decades, uh, I cannot do away with the new reality that is, coming into our lives. So I can't close my eyes and say I don't want to look at it because it's going to be a part of our lives. But I would request, just to sum it up. I mean, she has pretty much shared what I would have also liked to say. But what I would like to sum it up and say is that, like she said, that you have to remember that it is a tool. It's not a destination in itself. And what I find that a lot of the young people, or the youth basically, because this is a very big part of their reality, they forget that, uh, not all of them, I'm just generalizing, but I know that there is always segments. But I think what happens is that we get so lost in the fascination for the tools that you actually don't realize that you have to have some experience before you use those tools. So, like I would give an example of any skill. I mean, if there is a photographer, or if there is a carpenter, or if there is an engineer, and if the basic skills or the experience or the groundwork is not well done, no matter how important the tools, or no matter how attractive the tools, or how easy the tools, if you don't know your foundation, if you haven't done your groundwork, then you won't know how to use the tools. So I would just like to sum it up and say that AI, or the virtual reality, or all the information across, which is so easily available to us on our fingertips, I think there should be enough discretion to know when to use it and when not to use it. And that itself is a difficult, or I would say a crucial, um, mm, space. So if they were an artist, then I would just recommend that, um, I think for the first many years, an artist or a designer first needs to have the basic skills. Because today AI is so powerful that they'll design things for you, they'll create paintings for you, but it will not give you the joy of the process of creation. So while I feel that there is immense value addition that is possible, it would be my humble request to all the youngsters that, uh, in terms of fine art or design, please reach out to AI, or reach out to your new information that is available only once you have had a few years of really developing the skills for yourself. It can probably contribute once you know which way you are headed. Once you know, if I'm a painting student, or if I'm a sculpture student, if I know how to create my works without AI, if I know how to sketch without AI, then AI can be a valuable tool. But if I'm starting to use the tools from day one, my inherent qualities or skills are not going to develop the way they should. So I
Right.
believe that it has to be used with a lot of restraint when it comes to fine arts and design, at least. Just so that you have your authentic self that is being expressed first. And then, of course, there are the tools to add further value.
Thank you. Thank you. I think this is a very important lesson that all of us, it's not only the younger people, the students, but I think part and parcel to do our work faster. we are depending on AI a lot. And I think we all have to be quite conscious on about that. And we can use AI as an assistant, but not as replacing us, replacing human beings. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
last but not the least, I would like to ask Ms. Poppy Day for the concluding reflection from your part on the same. What are your reflections on the same ground uh, around the new skills and for young women working in the tea gardens and for those in the managerial or estate roles? How do they explore opportunities around digitalization, around professional and not abiding by the traditional paths? If you can just answer it very shortly. And we are very sorry, we are way beyond that time. We lost a lot of time because of technical difficulties. So if you can just touch upon. Thank you.
निहाल मैम के साथ मैं एग्री करूंगी जो कि उन्होंने डिजिटल लिटरेसी के बारे में जो भी बताया कि डिजिटल लिटरेसी का प्रोग्राम हम लोगों ने भी टी गार्डन में यंग वुमेन के लिए स्टार्ट किया था, लेकिन वो बहुत ज़्यादा सक्सेस हुआ ऐसा नहीं। तो मुझे लगता है कि जो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स का बात कर रहे हैं कि नीड बेस्ड और लोकलाइज्ड अगर हम लोग कुछ स्किल डेवलपमेंट ट्रेनिंग के बारे में हम लोग उन लोगों को ज़्यादा अवेयर करें और ऐसे कुछ प्लेसमेंट के साथ साथ उन लोगों के लिए ऑर्गेनाइज कर दे, तो ये उन लोगों के लिए, क्योंकि नीड बेस्ड नहीं होने से वो लोग बहुत ज़्यादा देर तक कंटिन्यू नहीं करते हैं। सॉरी, देयर इज अ पावर कट।
But we can hear you.
राइट। सो अगर लोकलाइज्ड होने से ये उन लोगों के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा प्लेसमेंट के लिए इजी हो जाता है, क्योंकि हम लोगों ने इससे पहले भी टाटा इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स में बहुत किसी को ऐसे ट्रेनिंग के साथ साथ प्लेसमेंट का भी उन लोगों को भेजा गया था, लेकिन जो बात कर रहे थे कि नीड बेस्ड नहीं होने के चलते वो लोग वापस रिटर्न आ गए, सब नहीं लेकिन ज़्यादातर। तो जो डिजिटल ट्रेन लिटरेसी प्रोग्राम है वो भी रन किया, लेकिन उसमें भी कहीं ना कहीं पे लगा कि नीड बेस्ड होने से वो और लोकलाइज्ड अगर प्लेसमेंट होगा तो उसमें हम लोगों को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा स्किल डेवलपमेंट की तरफ ध्यान देना चाहिए। और लोकल जो स्टेक होल्डर्स है, गवर्नमेंट से भी बहुत सारा है, यंग पीपल के लिए बहुत सारा ट्रेनिंग स्किल्स का, और इन टी इंडस्ट्री के साथ साथ बाकी इंडस्ट्रीज का भी बहुत सारा ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम्स चलता है। तो उसके साथ हम लोग अगर मार्च करके उन लोगों के लिए बहुत सारा ट्रेनिंग का रिसोर्सेज का अरेंज कर दे, तो यहाँ पे शायद हम लोग ब्रीज बन के बहुत मतलब बड़ा रोल प्ले कर सकते हैं। और लोकल ओनरशिप ये तो हम लोगों को चाहिए ही, कंटिन्यूअस एकदम एवोल्यूशन मॉनिटरिंग ये तो करना ही है। तो उसके बाद ही जाके जो हम लोग सोच रहे हैं कि ये जनरेशन के बाद जनरेशन जो टी गार्डन वर्कर्स का जो टी वर्कर्स बन के चल रहे हैं, तो उन लोगों का वो जो बिहेवियरल चेंजेस, वो माइंडसेट से वो लोग कहीं ना कहीं पे बाहर आ पाएंगे, अदरवाइज सब फेल हो जाएगा। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much. Thank you to all the speakers. I think what we have, I think to conclude this wonderful, wonderful play of ideas and the different perspectives that all of you are bringing from the different sectors are extremely valuable for the youth of today. And let us explore more on these different sectors, and let's not confine our thoughts to only say gig economy, where the money is much easier to earn and we can always explore ourselves in different areas. And try to link our hobby, our passion, our interest to our work, to our career. Money, I think, will come, definitely will come. But first is, what do we love? I think that should be the message we are all bringing in together in this panel together from different sectors on International Youth Day. So thank you on behalf of Banglanatak.com from everyone. We are very happy and we are extremely grateful to all the speakers, and we are very sorry we have extended the time to 30 minutes, and because technical faults are not in our hand. So whatever we speak of AI or technology, it's beyond our reach. So thank you so much. Thank you, Avni, Nehal, and Poppy for staying back. And we will get back to you again with many questions, many queries. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think it's a very good initiative to bring in people from different parts. And as we all speakers, we are connected kind of in terms of what we are talking about. So I think these kind of platforms has to be created more and more with the digital possibility that we are wherever we are from. But we'll be happy to kind of share our knowledge. And I would love to kind of conclude my talk with Nehal's information, what she was talking about. Being a design student, we were not allowed to use computer till we do everything manually perfect. After the certification, we were allowed, and some of the students were very furious, young people, like, "Kyun computer use nahi karne de rahe?" But I would agree to my teachers that thankfully, they have trained us manually, doing everything with our hand. So our observation skills and our hand skills are so powerful that we can use any tool to its maximum. And I think that's what I would like to say to the youth, that don't rush towards digital technology so fast. Yeah, you use it, you explore it, but your body is your tool. First, explore it and understand it properly, and then match it with any other tool that you have. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Nehal, do you have anything to add?
You need to unmute yourself.
I think we pretty much covered everything. And having said that, I just want to leave on a note that I have a lot of faith in the youth today, that no matter, they may be exposed to a lot of things, but when I teach on and off, I do realize that there is a large segment. They're very sharp. So they will use their discretion. And I hope that they're able to do the best they can, because they are the leaders of tomorrow. And I wish them all the best, all of them.
Thank you so much. Poppy, do
Thank
you have
you.
any concluding line?
यंग जनरेशन्स जो है उन लोगों के लिए यही बोलूँगी कि जो भी डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी हम लोगों को बहुत आगे जैसे बढ़ाता है, तो उसका नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट भी बहुत कुछ है। तो हम लोगों को वो चूज करना है कि कौन सा सिलेक्ट करना है, और ये हम लोगों को अपना इंडस्ट्री में ही, अपना गांव में ही, अपना लाइन में ही, लेबर लाइन में ही बहुत सारे एग्जांपल्स हम लोगों के सामने ही है। तो वो देख के वो लोग चूज करें, क्योंकि यहाँ पे जैसे सब्सटेंस अब्यूज का मैं बात कर रही थी, यहाँ पे बहुत कोई है जो कि गवर्नमेंट स्कूल का टीचर्स है, बहुत वेल एस्टेब्लिश्ड है, तो वो एग्जांपल्स भी हम लोगों के सामने हैं। तो उनको देखते हुए आगे बढ़े, और हैप्पी इंटरनेशनल यूथ डे सभी को। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much. So with this, we will conclude our session. We will end our session. Thank you so much.